best pro wrestling podcast. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
What? No, yes.
What I said was, stop talking.
Shut up! Listen up, wrestling fans.
That's right, listen up, because my name is Tommy Stryker, and this is the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast, where we talk about the best pro wrestling in the world. Now, this week, Taco's back in studio.
Yes!
Joe is here as well. Taco, you had a little vacation last week.
I
Went and
did.
saw some concerts at Red Rocks.
I did. We drove over 3,000 miles all the way down to Roswell, New Mexico. Fucking concerts on the way in Red Rocks and Denver. It's kind of hazy over there. You know, it's got to go through a lot of smoke, but yeah.
Good times, good times. Now, I mentioned this is the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast, where we talk about the best pro wrestling in the world, and that usually means we would talk a lot of New Japan and possibly Ring of Honor. But this week, a little bit different. We all three recorded Strong Honor earlier today for the fanspodcast.com.
So have a good night, everyone. See you later. Bye.
Have a good one.
And so you can we talk about the entire Best of Super Juniors tournament up to this point, and we touch on last week's Ring of Honor TV and a little bit on this week's. Not a ton to talk about there, but seek that out. You can go to our website, bestprowrestlingpodcast.com, and find a link in the menu there, the Strong Honor link in the menu, and you'll be able to find that there. If it's not up right now, it should be shortly. I don't have any control on when he puts those up, but I will be sending it to him tonight, which is Tuesday night. I forgot to mention we do record this on Tuesday, right after Smackdown, as 205 Live is on in the background. Thanks for checking out the show. If you're new to the show, go to iTunes, rate, review, and subscribe there. Even if you don't use iTunes, helps out the show a lot. And check us out on Facebook, facebook.com/Best Pro Wrestling Podcast, and on Twitter @BPW Podcast. Tell your friends about it. We all know that wrestling is a dirty what do you call it, a guilty pleasure for a lot of people, and you're not exactly always okay with sharing your love for professional wrestling. But this podcast is so awesome.
Open it up.
So awesome.
That you can
Don't be a pussy.
Don't be afraid of sharing it with other people. So that being said, let's talk a little bit of the pro wrestling news before we get into all the awesome week of wrestling that was.
Pro wrestling news.
We have quite a bit of
Oh, I got something in my eye.
Taco's very sad about the news this week.
Yeah, I'm fucking balling, man. God, why?
That was happening to me earlier when we were watching SmackDown, coincidentally. We talked a little bit about this on Strong Honor, but I'll bring it up here. Access TV announced last week what they're going to be doing for the New Japan shows on July 1st and 2nd in Long Beach, California. New Japan's first shows in the United States, and they will be broadcasting night 1, July 1st, live on Access TV during a 4-hour block. So that's very cool. New Japan live on American TV on cable. It'll also be available on New Japan World, not live in the United States, but I think you'll be able to watch after the fact with Kevin Kelly and Don Callis doing commentary there, Jim Ross and Josh Barnett doing commentary for Access TV.
As I was saying on the Strong Honor podcast, too, they completely revamped their whole website, so it's really easy to navigate now.
And JPWWorld.com.
And it's just a simple click of the button, go between Japanese and English, so I like the new layout. It's very crisp, clean, and it's the same, just clean.
Yeah, a little bit easier for the English-speaking folks, and a nice new layout, especially for the on mobile, which is nice. But then going back to the Access news, so night 2, July 2nd, it will not be live on Access, but they are going to be recording it and airing it the following Friday on Access. And I believe night 2 will be available live on New Japan World and JPWWorld.com. So like we were just talking about, if you subscribe there, you can watch Night 2 live. Otherwise, you just wait for the next Friday on Access TV, and you can watch it for free or on your cable or whatever you pay for there. So that's a good option. Of course, they're going to be talked about this on Strong Honor as well, but they got the new IWGP United States title. That's going to be a 2-day tournament over the 2 days, crowning the brand new U.S. champion.
Have they announced anybody besides Jay Lethal?
Hangman Page, I believe.
Okay.
And I have a strong inkling that Kenny Omega is going to be in this and quite possibly win this match.
Interesting.
Because the big push of Kazuchika Okada has been happening all year, and we're going to get the rematch between those two at Dominion on July 11th. Now, some people are speculating that this could be the spot where Kenny wins it, takes it, and defends it in the United States. And that's definitely a possibility. But I think there's a possibility, too, because of this giant push of Okada, that Okada just wins again versus Kenny Omega at Dominion, and they go to the IWGP US tournament with Kenny Omega being the big star of that and possibly winning that championship and holding that for a long time. So there's different possibilities here, definitely.
I like the idea of Okada going in as champ, as, be the face of the company. They pushed him so far, much.
Right. Also on the Access TV shows, or the July 1st and 2nd event, not only the U.S. Championship tournament going on, but the IWGP Heavyweight title will be defended, like we were just talking about. It could be Okada or Omega coming into the United States defending it. But I like the idea of kind of keeping it on Okada. And
I just feel like overall it'll do more for his career because Omega's so fucking high right now. He's just fucking going near the guy and it's just fucking hot, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's just, I'd like to keep the strap on him, but either way, it's going to be great for the business.
Yeah. Also defended on the July 1st and 2nd shows, one or the other, the IC title also, the IWGP Junior Tag titles on the line, and the IWGP Heavyweight titles on the line. So, just like I said before, we'll know more after the Dominion event on June 11th, and so we'll have about 3 weeks to build up to what's going to take place in Long Beach. The Mae Young Classic is going to be the name of the women's tournament for the on the WWE
Classic.
Network. July 13th and 14th, it's taking place on the network. Haven't heard a lot.
32 female.
32 females are going to be in the tournament. Haven't heard a lot of names yet, but there's been a lot of speculation. Probably see quite a bit of NXT talent in there, as well as some popular indie names. Candice LeRae rumored.
I'd like to see her in there.
We've seen. Oh God, now I can't think. Kimber Lee has shown up a couple of times on NXT as
What's
kind of
that one I saw on Ring of Honor, Purrazzo?
Deonna Purrazzo, another one that's kind of been in and out. So
I'd like to see Bubba's girl in it from TNA. Fucking God. This is escaping me. Fucking, I'm always the one that brings up TNA bullshit too. You know this?
It's not
the fucking Pigeon Army, broad.
It's not,
lady, I'm sorry. Lady.
It's not Madison Ray. I'm trying to go. I'm
No.
going through all the TNA knockout names.
Velvet Sky.
Velvet Sky, yes.
There we go.
That's a possibility.
With the good relationship, Bubba, patched up with WWE, or Dudley Boys, I should say, patched up with WWE, I think it'd be really cool to see her in.
Interesting, though, to note that, obviously, Bully Ray in Ring of Honor now, though, I noticed that she does, live commentary on the Fight TV app during, Ring of Honor pay-per-views.
Sure.
So she's got some
I don't know her contract status with any organization or what the hell's
I
going on.
I haven't seen her
but
wrestling in a few years either, so she might just be done as a wrestler too. So, but it's a possibility. There's lots of possibilities. So
Now that I've updated my phone with the Fight app, I'm allowed to use the chat feature.
Yeah.
And I got someone to say "fuck you" to me.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome.
Was it Velvet Sky? Finally, in the news, the saga between the Hardys and Anthem, the company that now owns Impact/TNA, that's an ongoing thing. Anthem has released a series of communications and emails and stuff saying that basically this is from Anthem's perspective, from what I just read. I just read a story on this on the Observer. Anthem is saying, look, we were negotiating with them. It was internet rumors. WWE wasn't interested in the gimmick. We tried to negotiate or communicate with the Hardys, and it's been through lawyers and back and forth. And so they were just basically addressing the rumors here. So I don't know. What do you think about the Hardys and this Anthem thing and how this is all going down right now?
It's kind of honestly fucking over it. I mean, it's so fucking great to see the Hardys in WWE again, especially the hustle that, just think about it in general. You'd always think about like Jeff Hardy would be the one to make his triumph return to WWE and maybe bring Matt Hardy with. But seeing that what Matt Hardy did for him and his brother, and they were willing to be company men, and it's just pay us, motherfuckers, and that never worked out, and it only benefited them. And they only wanted to come back to WWE. Who wants to say no to that money?
Right?
They're fucking riding the high on this gimmick, but. They've been top of the world before. They've been top of the world again. They got back there. They have their downfalls. We know they're in a good spot now. So, I wouldn't be mad seeing something new from them in the WWE, because essentially, let's fucking see something new from you guys. We know you're a bunch of creative guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them doing like Team Extreme, kind of, we're the Hardy Boys. Let's see what you guys got now again. You're back to, the best in the world. So
yeah. Even if they get the gimmick or whatever from Anthem, you got to change it up anyway, right? You can't just do the same thing. So I guess it's just a matter of probably them wanting to do some sort of variation of it, but just worried about.
I don't want to see King Maxwell pinning the fucking clones.
Right. So there's that.
I do have a piece of news I want to bring up that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's the YouTube updated their policy, and they actually classified wrestling as non-advertiser friendly.
Yeah, this has been kind of an ongoing thing for like a month now, I want to say.
So WCPW just announced that they're going to no longer do any shows, or they're going to offer full refunds to everyone. And I know even outside of the wrestling world, it's hurt a lot of people. People like us, even
podcasters and whatnot.
So it's kind of disappointing out there, but people make a storm a little bit, show people I mean, it essentially is family friendly or kid friendly programming.
For the most part.
Well,
the
it's
whole
a blanket
idea,
statement, basically, just including wrestling as a whole. It's not even like picking and choosing. Like, I get it. Barely legal ECW. That's not something that you want to put advertising in front of anymore.
Well, this shit even affects WWE though too.
Right.
But from what I heard, advertising is still playing on WWE videos, which is again raising conspiracy theorists saying that WWE also had a say in this, and it just a little bit.
Well, I don't know if they had a say in it, but
it's just the obvious thing of
and
they're the
TV
money
PG.
makers.
TV PG.
But when a match between Del Rio and Mysterio only makes $44 off of ads on YouTube, that's kind of like their fucking time is worth more than that, big time.
Yep, I agree. There is one more thing that I actually wanted to issue. We do have a ton of WWE stuff that we are going to get into, trust me. But one thing that we kind of skipped over when we did the Strong Honor show, we talked about the big match between Will Ospreay and Ricochet. Talked about that in great detail there. Phenomenal match. Gave it 4.5 stars. Standout performance. But we talked about after the match, Will Ospreay cut a promo, and you talked a little bit, Taco, about how he was saying, it was
an art form.
Right. Wrestling is an art form, despite all the controversy, and but it gave respect to Ricochet, and just had a really cool.
I loved them holding each other's hands in the middle of the ring when they're fucking passed out, out of breath, tired, just reaching for each other. It's, their kind of performance is, what makes, this business speak so much. Like seeing Marty Scurll in fucking advertisement for business suits, it's just like, he even said himself, wrestling is getting cool again, so it's just like, how could you do that to a business, just any business right now? YouTube, that's the land of being creative, you know. So and these fucking not Marty Scurll, Ospreay, I feel like he's hit it right on the head right there, because who was it back to fucking Meryl Streep who said all this stuff isn't art? It's like, no man, like this shit is art. Like you're looking at it way wrong.
Right. So in the promo, he talks about how he lost night one to Marty Scurll, and he's going to make a comeback here. And this is what he had to say in his promo.
I will get better. I will face Tai Chi. I will face Liger. I will face Tucker. Hell, I'll even go for a House of Horrors match with Randy Orton.
So I wanted to get that in because I forgot to on Strong Honor. So a little bit of a bonus here on today's show. So all right, well let's get into Backlash and what happened on Smackdown.
Smackdown Live. Players, I'm going to make this a tag team match. That's right, geeks.
All right, Backlash. That was Backlash was a pretty decent show, right?
It's fun.
Yeah. I think after, honestly, the UK special and NXT, they had to at least step it up a little bit.
Yeah, it was tough to follow, that's for sure. It wasn't the best of the weekend, for sure. And definitely some fast-forwardable moments on the show. All right, let's talk about the main event. Jinder Mahal versus Orton. All the reaction from the crowd.
Awesome.
Called it.
The reaction,
This guy right here.
reaction on Twitter.
What was I saying about Sheamus winning?
People
away?
are saying are saying they're done with WWE. They're done with SmackDown. What are your guys' reaction? Because
Good. Fuck those people. They are the problem, Tommy.
I'm very curious to see what the SmackDown ratings are this week. I mean, they've been down anyway, and with the fucking the Jinder thing happening, it's crazy. You know, I listened to Jinder on Jericho's podcast. And I think you said you listened to that one too.
Just a little bit, but
Okay. Well, it's funny because he talks about what we've been kind of complaining about the Jinder character. He's already a heel, right? But then he comes out and does the bullshit, WWE heel stuff that gets heat in the building, but at home it's just kind of the groaning. Oh, he's doing the fuck the United States and you hate me because I'm a different color. It's, the dumb shit.
Right.
It's just like, it's like, come on. But on that Jericho interview, he talks about how he had this promo and it was, it was about him and da-da-da-da-da. And then at the last second, he got a rewritten promo where it's got all the other bullshit in there. And so he's like, oh man, I really like the first one. But then Vince McMahon changed it up and we did the second one. And then he goes on to put over Vince McMahon and it's like, oh, it really worked. It really got a lot of heat from the crowd. Well, you already had the heat. You didn't have to do.
You're good.
Yeah, it was too much. It's just so, I don't know. But I found the reaction fascinating. The crowd shots.
It's more exciting than the shit that Orton and fucking Wyatt's been putting on. Like,
right. And to me, it gets back to. I feel like Orton, when he is engaged, when he has a program that he's into, he's better than he's one of the best, right? But he had the thing with Lesnar, and then right after that, he went right into the Bray Wyatt stuff, and he did Bray Wyatt from September to WrestleMania. So he didn't give a fuck, and neither did we. And so we had the WrestleMania thing, the stupid House of Horrors. Finally, he's done with that, and then you move on to building up Jinder Mahal over 2 weeks. You take a guy who was just a loser. He was a complete loser. Now, I talked about how, remember when he was still on Raw, and I go back to the match that he had with Cesaro out of like nowhere. I think it was on a pay-per-view even. And it was like out of nowhere, Jinder has like this competitive ass match with Cesaro. And I'm like, what the hell is
Hard-hitting,
this?
too.
And I remember that. I was like, okay, Jinder's fucking looking decent here. And so I don't know if the push was decided was going to happen before that match, or it was, okay, we're going to give Jinder a lot in this match because we're building him up for something. I don't know what it was, but it was like, that was a good start, right? But then all of a sudden he gets traded to SmackDown, and it feels out of nowhere. Like it feels like they should have built up Jinder more. And we talked about the character flaw with the promos and the hit, bang you over the head. I'm a heel. I'm a bad guy. America hates me. Da 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 da. So.
See, I kind of like that it's out of nowhere like that because, they do keep saying, SmackDown is the land of opportunity and blah, 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 blah. And, for, weeks I kept going back to the Sheamus example when he won it from John Cena at Extreme Rules. What if he would have lost that night? How would his career been today? Sometimes you just got to dump the championship on a guy and see what it brings him. Sheamus is now a multi-time champion. Miz, still a one-time champion. So, so let's, we do need more people. We need to think about the future, and this guy is obviously putting in the work. It's just, my only beef with it right now really is they're just hitting the India market. So it's just like really like, I know the fucking game you're playing, WWE. It's like when
so
Rey
Mysterio
was champion. It was only because of Eddie's passing, unfortunately.
Well, at least he was a babyface. And I'm not making the argument that Jinder should be a babyface because he shouldn't. He's just not a babyface. But he doesn't have to be this. I mean, let him just be a fucking cool Indian guy And you know what I'm saying? Like,
just being a badass.
Yeah,
That's
just be a
do
badass.
what
Doesn't have to
done.
own a nightclub.
We are still not going to like Jinder if he's just an Indian badass.
Be the
doesn't have to be
badass
a
foreigner that
terrorist.
Rusev has done.
Right.
Be the badass that Cesaro done. Be the badass foreigner that Sheamus has done. It's
Right,
possible. It's just I hate to say it, the fucking dark skin syndrome.
Still happy with the outcome.
Yeah,
Definitely definitely happy with the outcome, and definitely look up.
It got people talking.
Yeah, 100%. And look up the Indian broadcast team when he won it. They're so fucking great to win because they're just screaming, India number one, India number one. So it's fucking awesome to hear that. But, I just love it. It's a nice change of pace, and it's, it's bringing a whole new dynamic that, fucking, we wouldn't have thought. We would have, just look at 3MB. I would have pegged fucking Galloway fucking being champion for him.
That was actually one of the best memes I've saw all week. Was Drew, all of them just as the 3-man band. Drew's got the NXT title. Heath has got the Universal title, and then Jinder's got the WWE.
I wonder how fucking Drew Galloway feels about Jinder Mahal being the title, having the fucking title now. He just got back to NXT. So, and in my mind, just as a guy who kind of follows this indie stuff, fucking Drew McIntyre worked his ass off on the indies. But it's honestly, after listening to the Jericho podcast, Mahal did quite a bit of work.
Oh yeah, he did.
It just wasn't as mainstream or talked about in the United States. He did stuff overseas, did a ton of stuff with Kali in India. They were selling out huge stadiums over there. So he really worked hard to get back into. He got back into shape, boy. He changed his diet, his exercise routine. Now, look. I know the reputation that back knee and chest acne has with steroids, but I don't know that I've never tested Jinder. As far as I know, hey, I got skin problems. I got psoriasis. I got issues. I've had acne when I was in high school. Look, I get it. Maybe he's just got some bad skin. Look, he's working really hard. So,
I just don't want
really
him and Brock Lesnar peeing in no cups.
So anyway, what did you think about Randy throwing around the Singh brothers?
His face after he throws
That
the
grin.
second one.
That was great. That was phenomenal. I was talking about how Randy turns it on when he's engaged with something. I felt for this match, Randy fucking brought it.
Yeah.
The fucking the hot open where he attacks him before the bell and all that, and the stuff with the Singh brothers and just the finish itself.
Boys.
I enjoyed it. So I enjoyed Randy's performance in particular when I hadn't really enjoyed it. Maybe he was just excited to do a regular fucking wrestling match.
Right.
So
Well, and again, it was hard hitting for both of them. We know what Randy can do, but we've got to see Jinder perform with different people, and being champion, he's going to be, different guy here and there. It's going to be nice.
Shit,
It'll be
maybe
fun.
he's the one, maybe he's happy to put someone over. Shit.
yeah.
I mean, he's at that stage.
Yeah, and honestly, he probably doesn't want the pressure of being a main event guy every night. But then again, maybe he does. Maybe he's excited for the program with Jinder because they announced on Smackdown today they're going to bring it back at Money in the Bank. Orton gets his rematch there, so they'll be doing this on house shows up until then over the next 4 weeks. So it's
They got some time.
more normal program for Randy Orton to work. So yeah, like I said, it'll be the rematch at Money in the Bank in 4 weeks. Are you excited for that already, or how do you feel about the rematch?
I am actually excited for Money in the Bank because just the crew that's in it. Obviously, like the big top guys that I want to win I don't think are going to win. But I look at it, it's a good way to get the belt off of Jinder too. Someone maybe like a Sami Zayn winning.
I was talking more about the Orton rematch.
Oh, the Orton rematch. Okay,
Yeah, we'll get to the
I was like, he blew over that. Okay.
No, we'll get to that. But are you excited for the rematch?
Oh yeah, why not? I mean, so far so good. Fucking roll with it. Just don't. I don't know. It's just don't. My beef is just the India thing. Just attending to that crowd just because that they're fucking a new market.
Yeah.
So it's just play your guys' cards right. You could have such a great fucking heel right now. It's just I just don't want them to stick with the stereotypical stuff.
It's
So it's just I'm interested to see where this interested to see where this blooms into.
Problem is they're not. I mean they've gone all in with this gimmick, so that's what they're doing.
Celebration was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean it would have been better if Jinder was the guy we're talking about, just the kind of a badass guy and just finally got his opportunity. But again, it was the Punjabi celebration, which would have been fine with the dancing and all of that. If he doesn't get in the ring and just start talking America shit again, and so that kind of was what it was.
You people.
What do you mean, you people?
Exactly. What was I gonna say?
God, they're beating the
about
shit out of each other.
Right?
Tozawa and Kendrick on 205 Live. So, what was I gonna? There was something I was gonna say again about the gender thing, the Punjabi celebration.
So I fucking
Don't
threw
hinder
everything
the
out of whack.
Don't hinder the gender. I had back knee once too. I've never taken steroids. I can't think of what my other point was. Anyway, I'll just move on here. Let's AJ Styles versus Kevin Owens for the United States of America Championship. Kevin Owens wins via countout. I actually really liked this finish. I thought it was unique. AJ getting his foot caught in the cables after falling through the TV hole in the table. Even though AJ had to kind of hook his own foot on the tables, you got to keep it a little more kayfabe than that. Let's get Hornswoggle under the table there, hiding down there to wrap the cable around his throat.
I just cover my eyes. If I don't see it, it didn't happen.
So, but I like to finish in a decent match.
Yeah, it was a good match. But I wouldn't hope to expect anything less from these guys.
Right.
Well, and this is just a taste. They're just giving us a taste of these guys because with Kevin Owens on SmackDown holding any championship, AJ Styles is always a contender, so we can get a feud out of these guys anytime leading into SummerSlam, maybe into WrestleMania next year. Who knows?
Natalia and the Welcoming Committee beat Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Naomi. Yeah, I Titus O'Neil all the way through that one.
It's so fucking unfortunate too. It's just all like
they've got these great women wrestlers, and they're just throwing them out there. They had the rematch on SmackDown. It was a 4-person tag match, and then the babyfaces won on SmackDown. So they're just trading wins.
I mean, Naomi worked her ass off just to get back to WrestleMania to get to 6-man and tag team matches.
Yeah. I don't know why. Yeah. But I guess the good news is that next week we've got the 5-way. But again, the promo going
Sounds hot.
It was just all 5 of them arguing in the office. It's again it's going back to Divas booking. Oh, it's just a bunch of catty women that can't get along.
Yep.
And so it's unfortunate. But we'll get a number 1 contender possibly next week, barring any shenanigans. We'll see. Zayn versus Corbin. I enjoyed this. The Corbin dominated the pay-per-view. Zayn won with the Helluva kick out of nowhere, and then we had the rematch on SmackDown. He gets the fucking quick-ass roll-up 1, 2, 3, the most devastating move in professional wrestling.
It was extra devastating tonight.
Devastating. Then Corbin, of course, kicks his ass, beats him down after the match, and they have to stretcher him out of there.
What? So Sami Zayn gets his ass beat down?
I know, it's unheard of. It's unbelievable. The Fashion Police versus the Usos. My God, this was from Backlash. What a fun match.
So fun.
I was not expecting this. Fucking Tyler Breeze coming out dressed as the janitor. The multiple costume changes in the match. The old lady. What was the last one there?
I don't even know. He just put something on.
Yeah, he does. So I love the Usos fucking just playing it straight, right? They're fucking fuck you in your fucking mop and your bullshit. And he comes in and he's so mad that he gets tripped up by the mop and the bullshit. And he's going for the top rope splash, and Tyler Breeze is doing like the slow rolling out of the way, back and forth each side. He's going for the big splash. I love this match. It
was so fun.
Oh my God, it was great.
It just shows you that they can do things right.
And it was a great combination of the Usos taking it super fucking serious, and then Breezango being funny and goofy, but then fucking bringing the fight a little bit.
But even on SmackDown, I like how they played everything out with them. Essentially both getting the roll-ups out of nowhere, but
yeah.
I liked how the Usos started off, just all like, we already beat you fuckers, we ain't doing this, and then, them doing their fun little games and getting 2 wins out of it just instantly quick, so it was like, they're doing this fun shit right, where it's just like, it's I mean, fuck. When the commercial popped on, you're like, ooh. When it's on, I was like, did Tommy just ooh the fucking fashion popo?
Right.
Like, this is weird. So it's just they're hitting all the right chords with these two, and
shows that they're not going to drop them either right off the bat.
Right. So we'll get I mean, they had the rematch on SmackDown, and I like to finish this too with an Uso getting a blind tag that Fandango didn't see. Fandango hits the top rope leg drop, but then the newly legal Uso comes in and hits the top rope splash out of nowhere, and they get the win. So.
I actually like the sports presentation they did with this too, where the Usos like, fine, let's do this match right fucking now,
right.
And then the referee going and calling to the back, be like, hey, is this okay? We doing this?
Yeah.
All right, letting everyone know. That was super unique. I super fucking loved it.
I loved
We didn't
that
have to
touch.
spend fucking 5 minutes, Shane McMahon walking out and getting ready.
And it wasn't just they've told us the story that these decisions are actually made, and it wasn't just we're going to have a match and the ref just decides to ring the bell either. They actually had, he checked it out, got it cleared, here we go. So I liked that calling.
Yeah, overall, the whole presentation tonight was awesome because there was more of those commercials side by side dual screens too, which was nice.
Picture in picture for the undercard commercials. During the commercials, they would continue to show the match in the corner, but then they do it for all the other matches except the main event, which had 2 commercial breaks. So that I was like, this is cool. This is how you should do it. And then they fuck it up during the main event.
Yep.
So that was unfortunate. Let's see what else from. How about 3 quick roll up victories?
All done right
SmackDown?
though. Like,
yeah, no, I agree, and I like the idea that once in a while guys can just pull out a quick ass victory like that. Like we've all popped for Sami Zayn getting that quick victory.
Like 2 wins in a row like that. I'm like, oh cool, they're doing something right with them, and then ass whooping carried out stretcher.
But I like the idea that the babyface can get the win, and then the heel gets his heat back by the bullshit attack after. So
it works so well. I actually just memory popping in my brain. I think it's a 6-second match between Kevin Nash and Rey Mysterio, with Rey Mysterio getting like the roll up like within 6 seconds.
Nice.
It's very fun to watch.
Wasn't that Mysterio and JBL? WrestleMania 25 when he retired.
Nerds.
Yeah.
Like 90 seconds though.
I don't know.
Fuck you for not knowing.
Suck a fart.
What I said was, stop talking.
Then the opener for the pay-per-view, Dolph Ziggler versus Nakamura. I got a feeling, Joe, you and I might be on the same page here. I was disappointed in the fact that Dolph Ziggler got so much offense, and it was a lot of Nakamura selling. I was really hoping for this to just be Nakamura whooping Dolph Ziggler's ass. So that's me being nitpicky about it. It was a good match. I don't know. What were your guys' thoughts? Go ahead, Joe.
For even just like the fact that I was expecting a fast match, it seemed like this one was rushed right away off the bat. Whether he was doing the selling and everything, it seems like they had to get their quick stuff in just to get Nakamura used to the pay-per-view, used to the crowd and everything. But it was your standard match, 2.5, 3-star match. That's not. It's good for the show, Start it off.
Yeah, it was a good opener. I actually do like that it was a competitive match after seeing SmackDown, because I was with you guys. I thought it was going to be just a fucking complete ass whooping up and down, Shinsuke showing his strong style. But after after figuring out the Money in the Bank match with Ziggler being in it, I'm glad it's a little bit more competitive, because if he would have just got his ass completely rolled over and still in the match and been like, ooh, you still lost, but you really lost.
For me, it was just the situation. I mean, look at the story of Ziggler the past year. When he was a babyface, he was a loser. Then he turns into this shitty heel. He's still a loser. And so, but it was he's still, quote unquote, the show off or whatever. So him going out and having the competitive match was, I guess it's fine, because Nakamura is a good seller, made Ziggler look good. And then same thing, I felt the same way in the tag match on SmackDown, where it was such a strange situation with Nakamura tagging with AJ Styles for the first time ever, when the last time those two were in a ring together was at Wrestle Kingdom, and they were wrestling each other, at Wrestle Kingdom 10. So it was just a crazy dynamic.
I think that's just putting the hook in everyone's head right now of those two in the ring together.
Yeah. But again, during that tag match, Nakamura taking that long beatdown, that long heat, finally building up to the hot tag to AJ. He comes in, runs wild, get another hot tag to Nakamura later in the match. So I like it that he got a late hot tag so he could come in and kind of showcase himself a little bit more later in the match. But I did like AJ and Nakamura. They did get the win. Kinshasa over Kevin Owens. So it shows that Nakamura could definitely beat the United States of America champion.
Right.
But what was I going to say here? Okay, well, let's talk about the Money in the Bank match. They announced everybody for that. Again, AJ Styles in it, won his match at Backlash. Baron Corbin lost.
He did win. He lost.
No, AJ lost. That's right. AJ lost because of count out or whatever. But you could make the argument that it was a bullshit count out because he got his leg caught in the thing.
Plus, he's the face that runs place.
And Shane McMahon being the babyface manager, he can see why AJ's phenomenal. Of course, we'll put him in there. Baron Corbin, who lost in the match. Sami Zayn, who won in the match, made sense. Dolph Ziggler, who lost in the match. And then finally, Nakamura. I like the teaser thing of Kevin Owens coming out before Nakamura, then them having the argument. He convinces Shane because he defended his title, even though it was a shenanigansy kind of a win for Kevin Owens in the match. But
still a win.
Right, still a win, exactly.
It's a W.
So, again, let's go back to the Money in the Bank match. Early predictions, how are you feeling about it? Obviously, it's a chance for Corbin.
Big chance.
But, I mean, if Mahal keeps the title, I mean, obviously, the Nakamura is a big possibility. I more prefer AJ Styles because it's just him getting back into that main event picture, and I think that's where he belongs. But what are your thoughts?
I think it's going to go longer this year. I feel like the briefcase was cashed in really fast. The last time we haven't had a guy just hang on to the briefcase for a really long time.
I think last year's they had it was right before the draft, wasn't it?
It was right before. Well, it was like the pay-per-view or two before SummerSlam
coming up. Yeah,
and he cashed it in like a month later, if that.
Yeah, it wasn't much. So I could see a good run, and with that being the case, like I see it as more of an underdog thing. And you know where I'm heading with this, obviously, just because I use the word underdog. But give it to Sami Zayn. Give it to somebody. Whether it's
oh my god, I just thought, what if they give it to Sami Zayn and then like every week it's a promo of him like contemplating, do I cash it in this week? Well, I don't know. And then he kind of overanalyzes it every week.
That's kind of. I'm with you on this, Joe. That's kind of what I was like saying earlier.
But I want to see somebody
he needs
new. I want to see somebody.
You want to see Ty Dillinger in there.
I want to see a Dolph Ziggler. I mean, when Dolph Ziggler won it, he wasn't that big. Yeah. You know, I'm not saying using him
a Dolph Ziggler type is what you're saying.
But I want to see an underdog get the.
Hey, it's
the New Day.
Hey, New Day's on Talking Smack, so check that out.
Anyways,
some new
maybe we'll get Rusev too.
God, that'd be great.
Rusev was supposed to show up 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, and we haven't seen him yet. So hopefully we get him back. But getting back to the Money in the Bank, yeah, I like the briefcase on Sami Zayn because that would be a fun moment with him cashing in.
He needs something like that. I mean,
yeah.
Well, he doesn't really have the fucking Andre the Giant thing anymore, Corbin, but, you know, he's still off in his own world. People do seem to dig on him, you know, outside of us, I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of him. I'm not even the biggest fan of Sami Zayn, but, you know, honestly, his whole main roster career has been kind of lackluster. Outside of facing John Cena for the U.S. title when he wasn't even on the main roster.
Right.
He's, you know, AJ Styles definitely doesn't need it. He can just can work his way into the title picture anytime.
That's true.
Kevin Owens, he's already been the Universal Champion. He's the U.S. Champion right now. So
I say give him all the titles and the briefcase, including the tag titles.
I would like Kevin Owens with it too. Like he could a heel like that with the briefcase. Great.
Yeah. The thing is, when a babyface wins the title, wins the Money in the Bank, they usually cash it in quickly. It's the heels that hang on to it for a very long time, typically, and then, you know, cash it in when it's most opportune.
But look how awkward, like you even said, look how awkward Sami Zayn's character kind of is. So him just kind of drooling, jacking off over having the money in the briefcase for 3-4 months. That's awesome.
Yeah, man.
like Seth Rollins had his WrestleMania moment with the briefcase. Fuck, have Sami Zayn have his moment. That's kind of why I'm looking at Jinder right now as champ. Like, hey, that's a good way to kind of have Zayn pin someone that is the crowd's even going to go even more nuts over him pinning.
Sure.
Absolutely right.
I missed that voice.
I remember the other point I was going to make on Jinder Mahal. The opening thing on SmackDown, the police escort, and him, the Singh brothers, they lay out the carpet for him, and the most awkward, non-realistic thing ever. He just gets out of the limo. He has this look on his face like somebody just farted in his dog food or something, and
You know what that means, big dog? That means I just farted in your dog food.
He throws the title over his shoulder, and then he just slowly kind of merges into this sinister bad guy laugh. It was the most. It was so Jinder. It was just such a Jinder moment. I don't know.
He better get an escort every episode.
I just thought it was it was dumb, but it was just like,
what
okay.
kind of escort?
A legal one?
Well, he's hard-bodied them all.
Let's talk some Monday Night Raw.
The subject.
Which one is it? This one?
Monday Night Raw.
I was so alone last week, Taco.
I bet.
Yeah, Derek had no idea what on earth is Joe doing over there.
I gotta give a shout out to Derek. He did good. He was all like, "Yeah."
All right, so Raw was 3 hours and 10 matches. I couldn't believe the amount of matches on Raw. It was insane. I don't even know where to start with Raw. Let's start with Finn Balor versus Carl Anderson and the promo beforehand with Paul Heyman and all that. That was probably that was the best part from Monday Night Raw. Heyman coming out, putting down basically everybody else that's in the 5-way number 1 contenders match at Extreme Rules in a couple of weeks. Saying that he's going to victimize whoever wins it, if it's going to be Reigns, he's going to be victimized. If it's Rollins, he's going to be victimized. If it's Bray Wyatt, he's going to be victimized. If it's who's the other one?
Clinton Dix.
Clinton Dix.
Yes!
He's going to be victimized. But then he says, "But Finn, I know where you've come from. I respect you." Da 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 da. I just loved that whole thing. And then Finn just sending the message, "Hey, tell Brock I'm coming for him and I'm taking that Universal title." So they're really pushing the idea that Finn is a threat, and
Just so they can shatter our fucking hearts.
you know what?
Destroy our dreams.
I am perfectly okay if Finn wins the number 1 contenders match and goes out and has an awesome match with
Hell
Brock
yeah.
Lesnar. Let Brock Lesnar
Yeah.
take his ass to Suplex City. As long as he hits a fucking coup de grace and Brock Lesnar barely kicks out of it, I'd be happy with that. Have a very competitive match. And if he wins it, you've got your new superstar. You got look what they did with him last year when he debuted and they gave him the Universal Champion. The first ever Universal Champion. If he goes and beats Brock Lesnar the first time they face off, think about the potential rematch possibilities.
We didn't even think about that. He would have fucking rolled through everyone for that tournament last year for the Universal title. And,
Right.
he beat Roman Reigns one-on-one.
Right,
so.
we talked about that last week, how he beat Roman Reigns. Then last week, Roman Reigns unfortunately beat Finn. But
keep a balance.
Yeah, but I liked that. He got a nice win over Carl Anderson here at the end of the night. It's Finn in the office talking to Kurt Angle saying, "Hey, good main event, but hey, how about some more for me next week?"
See, I like that a lot, too.
Yeah, fucking promoting 2 awesome main event matches for next
Kurt
week.
Angle, too. I'm a damn good GM.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true. So we got the 3-way, the 3-way next week between Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, and Samoa Joe, and another very interesting matchup: Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. So 2 cool matches to look forward to.
I like how he set it up, too. Just fucking, the winners are in there. Let's fucking have everyone face. Like, fucking such a good ending, man. Like, I got over the fucking awkward, broken freaking neck trying to watch his TV at an angle shit. But, I didn't even notice it because it was just done so well.
Yeah. Main event was Samoa Joe and Bray Wyatt beating Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Joe getting the coquina clutch on Rollins and passing him out, basically.
Awesome.
Good finish. Didn't tap, but just made him pass out. So
you don't see that often, though. I like that. Just I want to see like knockouts. I want to see the pass outs, the fucking KOs,
referee stoppages.
Yes.
So yeah, good finish there, putting over Samoa Joe's finisher as a heel, getting a basically clean win. So I like that. A couple other things from the show. Tozawa beat Arya Davari with his top rope senton. Kendrick is still teaching lessons, and this program is still boring me.
They beat the shit out of each other tonight.
Yeah.
I will actually go back for that one.
Couple of things.
I haven't been too mad at it.
To me, it's just gone on so damn long, and
you need to.
And I don't like. and I get it. Kendrick's a heel. I don't like his promo style. It's just it turns me off rather than gets the heat of me wanting to see him get beat.
I'm with Taco on this one. I love the Brian Kendrick. I'm
enjoying
his promos. I'm enjoying the lessons and everything, and the fact that Tozawa is fighting back and it's building up Tozawa.
Yeah, he's fucking looking great.
You guys are right, and I'm just being a.
Don't you dare be sour!
All kinds of booty chatter coming out of my mouth.
Enough of you talking that flim flam.
There was something.
Booty chatter.
There was something. I think it was Jericho said it, but I agreed with it because it was like a good idea that Enzo should be in the cruiserweights because he's a fucking mouthpiece. It's gonna get those eyes on the cruiserweight division. Like, I mean, fucking Jericho's the best. He knows what's up.
That's a good idea. I don't mind that at all. We had the spot where Enzo got attacked in the back, and of course, Big Cass was very upset. Who did it? He tells Angle, if you don't find out, what did he say? Basically, insinuating if I find him first, there's going to be hell to pay. Basically, now Joe, I know you had a theory on who attacked him. Here's mine. I noticed that there was a keg of beer right next to where Enzo was attacked. My theory is that it was the Beer City Bruiser.
That son of a bitch.
Him and the last real man, Silas Young, have it out for Enzo. That is not a manly gimmick. They had enough of that bullshit. Now, I know Raw was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Those guys are Milwaukee guys, so it's not exactly close by, but a neighboring state, I would say.
It's close the same radius.
So, Joe, what was your theory on the...
I want to know how Cass is going to kick his own ass.
You think it was Cass?
I think it's... The thing I noticed right off the bat was he was riled up before he even started talking to What happened when they're trying to tell...
because it was a ref bringing him to the Cass, you gotta come, something's happened to Enzo, and of course Cass went, what's going on, we've got to figure this out. So,
but I think and then the only other thing I saw was somebody did a really close-up zoom on an actual, I think it was one of the random interviews, but the top guys just go walking by real fast. Revival just go walking by, so it could be either or, but I could see them still splitting these guys. They're already running their course. Everybody pops at the arenas, but are they really selling the merch anymore?
You're so wrong. Are they selling the merch? Oh, hell yeah, they are. They're fucking all over that shit. But I have inside info on who it is. There's some jealousy that they're so tight, that they're such a tight-knit family, Enzo and Cass, that Nia Jax is the one that took out Enzo because she is so jealous that she wants to be all over that big cast. She wants some of that.
I see it.
She wants those luscious
love
locks.
that story.
That she just had to get rid of them. She's so insecure.
Nia Jax has a crush on Big Cass.
She wanted that cast.
I want to see this fantasy booking, man.
I love that. That's good shit right there. You get one of these.
Fantasy booking.
It's my fantasy something.
Yes.
We had the Drifter debut on Raw finally. And he got the win. It was a DQ after The Miz comes in and he decides, you know what, fuck this. I love the Drifter. And Ambrose doesn't deserve a win, so Miz gives a forearm shiver to the Drifter, giving the Drifter the DQ win, continuing the feud between Ambrose and The Miz. But
Do you like that he got back his heat, though? Because everybody seemed to be jumping on the Drifter train with all his drifting, but the minute he plays a real song, fucking.
Oh, it's the singing.
Oh my God, that singing was awful. Everybody hated it. It was perfect. It was
so
perfect.
happy.
I love that fucking Angle cutting the promo beforehand. He's like, "You've been trying to get my attention. I see what you're doing," and he's just sitting there playing his guitar, not even looking at him. It's like, "No, I'm just drifting here, man. I'm not trying to get your attention or whatever. No, I'm gonna go out there and sing my song. All right, then we'll see what happens." So yeah, the Drifter finally made the debut. What else happened here? Sasha Banks got another win over Alicia Fox, another quick win. So, again, I feel like they should be telling a longer story. I like Alicia Fox's offense. I'm not a big fan of the Noam Dar thing and all that.
I think the big thing is, what's his name? Alexander is coming back. So I think they're going to pair them up and do a little quad.
You're going to go back to that thing?
Yeah.
Let's see. Alexa Bliss says Bayley can't get extreme. Then Alexa Bliss has her match with Mickie James, wins that match with the DDT, then attacks Mickie James after. Bayley comes out, grabs the kendo stick, but Bliss runs away. So will Bayley be able to get extreme? Who knows? We'll stay tuned. What did you think of the Kalisto Apollo Crews business?
It's weird.
I'm liking it. It's making Apollo Crews interesting. It's fucking Titus is doing, just him being Titus, not wrestling. I'm for that. Like,
And Kalisto slowly morphing into a dragon.
I like Kalisto's new gear.
Awesome.
This is the most interested I've ever been in Titus.
right?
So, he's not wrestling. He's not injuring people. He's just being a big goofy dickhead.
I liked right off the bat he saw Kalisto and he's like, "Hey, money opportunity,
Yes.
Like you make money, pesos, food stamps, this, that." It was fucking phenomenal.
And then Kalisto no selling, like, "No, I'm good, brother."
And it was just instantly, it's like, "Well, fuck you, you guys whoop his ass."
And
awesome.
I even like that there's that Apollo Crews kind of has the plausible deniability. He's like, "Hey, man, I'm just taking advantage of an opportunity. He's giving it to me, and it is what it is." So he's not being over the topish, too babyface, too heel. He's just kind of being himself, and he's like, "Yeah, he's kind of a goofball, but hey, he's giving me an opportunity."
And he's being interesting right now.
So yeah,
Shit.
like I said, it's interesting stuff. So Matt Hardy beat Sheamus for to pick the stipulation for Extreme Rules, and it's going to be a steel cage match. So Tony Nese lost to Austin Aries in the last Chancery. It's going to be Austin Aries versus Neville in a submission match.
Awesome.
That.
At Extreme
We've been
Rules.
waiting for this.
This
to
needs
eventually
to be
happen.
match of the night.
Yeah, that should be a good match. What do you think of the? We didn't really talk about Ambrose versus the Miz at Extreme Rules, but the rules are not extreme at all. It's the opposite of that, as was brought up by friend of the show 3-Pack, that if you get disqualified, you lose the title. What do you think of that one?
It's fucking dumb.
I dig on it. It's anti-Ambrose, so it's just because you're expecting, oh, what crazy shit is Ambrose going to do today? So I don't know. Are we gonna get a fucking new debut, someone helping Miz out or some crazy shit? I don't know. That's cool.
It's fucking dumb.
One of my highlights of the night was actually Goldust promo.
Oh, I forgot about the
That was
Goldust
so
promo.
good. That was old school Goldust
Old
right there.
school,
Just
yeah.
like the fucking everything was spot on. So it's just
Keep
I know
that going.
Goldust. Like I can't say he's been one of my favorites, but it's just he's always been that one that's just so interesting. Like fucking. Back in the WWF Warzone games, he's on fucking playable character, and he's
Yeah.
still fucking around. So
I like the little bit where the guy tries to hand him a script. He's like, "No, I'm not scripted." So I like that.
and
That thing was cool.
back when he was feuding with DiBiase, I enjoyed that feud. He was stealing the championships and stuff, and then he got injured, so that kind of threw a kink in the armor there. So, yeah, I'm happy to see this side of Goldust again on Raw, and hopefully we can get, I'm kind of hoping for a little, not championship run, but maybe, maybe be put
Something
in the
interesting.
Intercontinental title scene, maybe him and Miz bickering back and forth on who's the better movie star kind of shit. Like, there's so much potential. I mean, they're both would be kind of heels, but, I don't know. I'm excited to see where this Goldust stuff goes now.
I'm with you, and
Hi.
I'm glad you brought it up because I almost forgot about that. So
It was a highlight of the night for me, honestly.
yeah, I was hot. So
And I always like when he goes with the darker paint.
I just like when he barks. He does.
Yeah.
Whenever he makes a guy jump is always fun too. All right, let's switch it up and talk some UK.
The subject.
The UK Championship Special aired Friday night and was
fun.
available on demand. Hot crowd. Talk about JR and the commentary and all of that, Joe.
I actually, I give it 50-50. They were on the ball a lot of the times, but there was just a couple times I could tell that they just weren't comfortable.
Taco is giving Joe the
and
finger
that's
right
fine.
now.
He can give me the finger all he wants because he
I'll
didn't
finger
watch the shit
out of you.
He didn't even watch the shit.
See, I did. I started watching it, but
What I said was, stop talking.
I had no way to go deep into it, so I actually stopped watching it because I actually wanted to watch it with the commentary because it felt so good hearing JR's voice and Nigel. I don't know. You could be right. I didn't get to go deep with it, but that was kind of the reason why I stopped watching it because I did want to watch it with the commentary.
Well, it's not like they've done a lot together, and I completely understand that, which is why I give a complete leeway on this one, just because they haven't.
I really enjoyed it. It was very sports-like. It sounded just the way the JR does it for New Japan, just talking about the matches and what's going on. And at one point, Nigel's doing the WWE thing, talking about the Twitter and the trending and all that, and JR's like, Notice how I laid out and let him take care of the Twitter business or whatever. So I like JR's being JR, talking about the matches, talking about
him calling the God damn it, my fucking tweet I can't think of.
Michinoku driver.
No, but pretty
Clash
close.
of the Titus.
Double wrist lock or something that.
Yeah.
See, Nigel calls it something else, and JR, the Kimura lock. He's like, some people would call it the Kimura, but it's a double wrist lock.
Hoverboard lock.
But he said it 4 times rapid fire to Nigel, basically saying, look, I'm right.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed that aspect of the presentation. Hot crowd, which always makes for a good show. And even though both of the main events, very predictable because we knew it was going to be Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate at NXT. Wow, really great matches. The crowd was fired up for them. Undercard was okay. Joseph Connors got beat by Wolfgang. Kendrick and TJP beat Dan Maloney and Rich Swann. But then the Trent Seven versus Pete Dunne, there was the deal where Trent Seven was selling an injury from the night before. They had more matches or whatever. Pete Dunne attacks him back in the interview area. But that match was a lot of fun. Dunne winning with the bitter end out of nowhere. Seven again selling the arm, and Dunne's working it during the match. Seven hits a dragon suplex on the apron at one point, goes for a top rope dragon suplex attempt, and Dunne lands on his feet. But yeah, a fun number 1 contenders match leading into the match at TakeOver. Then the main event, Tyler Bate versus Mark Andrews. Tyler Bate winning with the Tyler Driver 97. Again, predictable win, but a very fun competitive match. Any other thoughts on those?
I was actually just really impressed with Mark Andrews in that match, especially in the championship caliber type match. You know, you're putting yourself out there, and he wasn't one of the biggest guys in that UK championship, but he can fly. He's very smooth, and it seems like these guys just work almost better than NXT in the sense that they are a lot of green wrestlers. These guys work together really well.
A lot of them face each other day in, day out.
Which just helps. And I think I'm really excited for this UK show, just in and out, because, again, we're going to get Nigel and JR on a regular basis, right?
Yep. Let's switch it up and go right into the NXT.
Change the subject.
Let's talk. We'll kind of mix in. I do want to briefly touch on last week's NXT TV show, but obviously the big stuff came out of TakeOver from Saturday. McIntyre beat The Rock's cousin, Sean Maluda, with a single leg Akuza kick after busting his eye open.
Yeah, really bad, too.
Sanity attacks Roderick Strong after the loss to Hideo Itami. Let's see. What was I going with here? Oh, yeah, that was like a backstage thing or whatever with Sanity attacking him. Then he demands the match that happened at TakeOver. Then we had Lacey Evans versus Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville, formerly Daria Maldonado, or whatever the name was. So for some reason they changed the name there, but she's still doing the kind of MMA gimmick or whatever. And she wins the match with an enziguri kick out of nowhere. And then finally, Cassius Ohno took on Almas. Ono won. McGuinness makes a reference during the match to Almas being ingobernable. Great TV match with the win going to Cassius Ono. And then Itami hits the GTS to security guards as Bobby Roode taunts him in the little pull apart that they did between those two at the end. So, but a fun little NXT TV show. Yeah, good lead in to what happened at TakeOver. Since we were just talking Tyler Bate with Pete Dunne, let's start there for the NXT TakeOver. I gave this one 5 stars.
I'm with you.
Fucking awesome.
You talk about 2 young guys and the future of pro wrestling. I mean, that's what this was right here on display. Just a great, great match. Pete Dunne getting the win here, which was what a lot of people wanted to see. Gets over the technical wrestling aspect of it, which, I mean, WWE, the main roster, really runs away from a lot of the things that were in this match. Just so technical and just building to big spots. We had a big airplane spin for a near fall at one point.
God.
Fuck, I wanted to vomit after seeing that one.
Power, strong spots. They do just straight up fisticuffs. It looks like a straight up fist fight at one point. The bop and bang, a neck rebound clothesline for a near fall. Bate counters the bitter end with a DDT at one point. Like I said, just insane. A very good match. Top match of the show. Just amazing. All right, let's start back at the beginning. EY versus Roderick Strong. Strong gets the win with the suplex backbreaker.
Love the beginning of this match.
After kneeing Eric Young off the top. Talk about the beginning. What
just the fact that you hear his music playing, I knew like 3 seconds in, I'm like, oh, he's not coming out. And then he attacks him from behind. I think you've needed somebody to do this eventually after how many sneak attack after sneak attack and multiple attack, and just having him take out most of the guys right off the bat.
Right.
It was just fun.
And again, telling the story of Roderick Strong being able to weather the storm, if you will, of all the sanity bullshit out there. So a strong win for Roderick Strong, and I think he needed it there. So
it was a strong opening match too between 2 wrestlers that again know each other and are pretty decent wrestlers.
Well, I know it was a Chicago crowd, but they did really pop hard for Roderick too.
Yeah.
So that was good to see.
Yeah, a hot Chicago crowd. Awesome. Good stuff there. The women's title match, Ruby Riott versus Nikki Cross versus Asuka. This is pretty much what we thought it would be. Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross kind of at each other's throats. Asuka winning with the...
See, I disagree with you on that.
Go ahead.
I felt like all 3 of them just beat the shit out of each other most of the match. It wasn't really designated between Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross. Asuka was getting in there when she wanted to and just fighting them off. Plus, I love the finish of the fact that she pinned them both.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. And you're right, there was excellent 3-way match psychology where it was like they would take out one, but they wouldn't be down for that long. It was like somebody would be down, do a couple of moves, all of a sudden somebody's back up again. So I
really felt it was going to go your way, and I felt like Asuka was going to be like out most of the match until she kicked someone's head off.
Right, but yeah, you're right. No, it was definitely more competitive, all 3 competitors.
And all 3 of them looked good.
Right, which is important in a match like this. But again, Asuka retaining with a running knee to Riott after a near fall. So a good match. Itami versus Bobby Roode for the title. I like that they didn't make this the main event. I thought that was a really interesting
smart move.
Obviously, after seeing what happened, we understand why. But Roode gets the win with 2 glorious DDTs. They had a great video explaining Hideo Itami's journey in NXT. They gave I think it's time for, just based on the performance in the match, I think Hideo Itami would be a great addition to Los Ingobernables America. I felt an attitude from him during the match, and he
needs an attitude,
and he needs something else. Think about Bobby Roode and the glorious entrance and all of that. Whereas Hideo, his music comes on, he just comes out. That's all. He just came out.
He's just really lost a lot of steam with the injuries.
Yeah.
Did you happen to see the video of the aftermath with Itami?
I don't.
Basically, he comes pissed off into the locker room, throwing shit and everything, and basically they're setting up a Cassius Ono Itami and possibly moving Itami into the heel role.
Okay, well that would make sense. Yeah.
Which it looks. I would love that. And
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, he needs a harder edge. He needs something to catch people's eye. Like, at least Nakamura has the Nakamura effect. Hideo, it's just WWE crowd really knows that he's the man behind the GTS.
All right, well, let's talk this tag team match, DIY versus the Authors of Pain for the NXT tag titles. I have so many mixed emotions on this thing.
I love it.
It's this kind of thing, this kind of match, this kind of what happened after the match. This is what makes pro wrestling fun and pro wrestling, quite frankly. Authors of Pain do get the win with the Super Collider after kicking out of. They get the win. They did the Authors or DIY were on the ladder going for the titles. They knocked the ladder out. DIY's hanging from the title holder gimmick thing, and they pull him down off there, hit the Super Collider, and the double power bombs. And they get the win.
Shot to the face that Gargano took.
The spots in the mat, the ladder spot to the face. They do the two bridging ladders where they dive off of the top of the big ass ladder.
Mm-hmm.
They did the thing where Ciampa suplexes one of the Authors of Pain into a ladder in the corner. So to me, and honestly, after explaining all that, it sounds brutal, but this is. To me, it wasn't even as brutal as some of these other ladder matches that I've seen lately. The story about this match, to me, is what happened after the match. And they've been building up to this for so long. And, God damn it, this is where the mixed emotions come in for me. Because they're doing the thing after the match that we've seen them do time and time again. From the Cruiserweight Classic and the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Tournament and all of that stuff. Where they've a tough loss or one of them beats each other or whatever in the Cruiserweight Classic. I forget who it was at this point, but they just had a tough battle, and you feel it coming. It's pro wrestling. Somebody's going to turn, and we felt it for so long, and then this time they cut away from it. You think, okay, they didn't do it. DIY is safe. I love DIY. I want them to stay together, and they're not going to break up. Then they cut back to them back on the stage, and they're still friends. That's still good. And then it finally happens.
They flashed the copyright thing. They flashed the end of the show logo.
Nice touch.
Before he
touch.
did it. Like I had to watch it again just to be sure.
I didn't even notice.
So they play it for half a second, and then he turns, and then obviously we know what happens. I was literally saying to my wife, I wanted it to be Gargano. I wanted Gargano to just kick him in the face.
Ciampa is
super kick to the face.
Ciampa is going to be such a great heel.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And
it makes that photo from a couple months ago from the Festival of Friendship when Gargano's taking the TV. Like, I don't want him to get ideas.
I forgot about that. But yeah, Gargano, what a super baby face now. Ciampa's going to be such a great heel.
Yeah.
But again, I'm so torn. I loved DIY. What do we got now? The heavy machinery? That's our top baby face. That's cool.
When's,
that's cool.
Fucking TM61
TM61
supposed to be coming back together.
I feel like his injury, it was like a year out or something.
It was at least 6 to 9 months.
He was going to be gone a long time but that's definitely that's there as well. So you're right. But yeah, I was just
it was devastating. It really was devastating.
And they just the way they built up to it, the way they've told the story for the past 2 years with these two, it's just been to me on the level with the barbershop window between the Rock.
Wow.
That was on this level.
Wow.
Just with the storytelling and the way they've built this up for 2 years. It was on.
It really has been 2 years.
And the emotional response out of me, I didn't want it to happen. And it happened, and it was just done so well. So that's where I'm standing with it. I got nothing else. What, you guys got anything else? Did we miss anything great from Takeover? It was such a great week of wrestling.
Fuck yeah, it was. So much.
Really, the fans are winners this week. That's really what it was.
Yeah, if you can't find good wrestling this last week, there's something wrong with you, not us. So, again, if you want to hear us talk about Best of the Super Juniors, and there's a lot to talk about, check out Strong Honor on thefanspodcast.com or go to bestprowrestlingpodcast.com and click on the menu bar, and there will be a link for the Strong Honor shows there. We talked that, Ring of Honor there, all that good stuff. Follow the show on Twitter at BPW Podcast, on Facebook, facebook.com/Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. Follow me on Twitter at Tommy Stryker, spell Stryker with a Y. Email the show, bestprowrestlingpodcast at gmail.com. Taka, where can people find you?
Go ahead, follow me on the Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter at HGREV Taco.
And you can follow me at Joe BPWP. That's Joe, Best Pro Wrestling Podcast.
All right, that's going to do it for the Best Pro Wrestling Podcast. Bye!
Peace.
Shut up!
That's not what this show's about.
What I said was, stop talking.
Don't be a lemon.
Do you even listen to me when I say words?
No!
Well, you know, you're exactly right.